Well, fantastic being here. So here's the conversation, and here's what I'm seeing. As we are going into the Q4, Q1 of next year, we're looking at growth that needs to come no longer from just acquisition, but also from expansion. Now, where does growth from expansion come from? Does it come from salespeople who sell to existing accounts, or does it come from customer success people who start selling to their existing customers? In this particular session, what we need is a tool that helps existing customer success people and coach them through sales skills. Is that the only way? No, other ways, but in this case, I want to focus on that. So I'm here with David Levy from Aircover.ai. Hi, David.
Hey, Jacco. Hey, Beth.
And then I'm here with Beth Yehaskel, head of our CS community over at Winning by Design. Hi, Beth.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, and so that's what we're looking. Dave, take us a little bit, and Beth, feel free to jump in anywhere, right? I just want you to put your eye on it and go like, like help us through. But Dave, tell us, what have you built, and what is this, what you have, what is the problem that you're trying to solve for what you've built?
Yeah, thanks, Jacco. Yeah, background myself, I'm one of the co-founders of Aircover, and exactly what you just said, there's got to be a large focus right now on diving into your existing accounts and expanding them. And so we've built real-time in-meeting sales coaching. And what that can do is it can help provide support during a customer-facing call to help those CS reps have a successful meeting every time. And so based on the live conversation, being able to bring in parts of your playbook and enablement and tools to help CS be successful.
And you see, Beth, that's the reason why I was interested. When Dave approached me that he wanted to do something like this, here's why I was interested in this. I think that 8-hour coaching and sitting in a class for several hours is meaningful. But I think that it needs to be complemented, but that while you're doing it, that there's some coaching and guidance. Both things need together. You cannot one or the other, you need a little bit of both. And what I find is that what I call in real-time training, IRT, is what's missing. Why not, if I'm on a Zoom call, why wouldn't something coach and advise me? Do you see where I'm going with this, Beth?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's so smart. And kind of what we were talking about before is that some CS people have more commercial experience in having those discussions, but a lot don't. And even sitting in a training session is great, but in that moment, kind of reminders about things and just ideas, whether they use them exactly or just get a thought about what direction they could go in, I think is very cool. I'm excited to check this out.
Okay, show us what you got, David. Give it to us.
Love it. Yeah, let's dive into it. So you all connected to this meeting using Zoom. So I connected using Aircover. So I'll show you what I'm looking at here.
Now, Aircover is integrated with Zoom in this case then, right?
It is, that's correct. So Aircover integrates directly with your live meeting and in this case, Zoom. So I'll dive into what I'm looking at here. So great. Can you all see my screen?
Can't see it. Okay, fantastic.
Okay, great. So it looks like we're in a Zoom meeting right now, except we have this custom window here on the right-hand side that's aware of who is speaking and what is being spoken about. I'm going to focus most of our attention today on the playbook tab. This is where we start to surface dynamic content based on live conversation. But just so everyone's aware, we also provide more information about who the CS person is speaking with. We also provide tools to allow them to plan next steps as well. And so, right away, we're opening up the call with a prospect or with a customer, I should say. And, we have the ACE available. So, appreciate you both getting on the meeting today. We have 30 minutes booked. You all confirm. I say the goal of the meeting and I say, does that sound like a good use of time? And then you all say, oh, thanks. Yeah, that sounds great. And just by talking about and going through that ACE methodology, we're able to surface now spiced. So now me as the CS manager has visibility. Go on.
Hang on. So look, one of the big challenges that we see, and like I was talking about it the other day, is that many of us want to know all these advanced sales skills. What are these advanced things that we can do? Where we find, however, where the most progress is made is when we start dealing with standard things like opening the call on time, closing on time, and so on. So what I saw that you did with the ACE, you brought it up at the beginning. You gave me some like blueprint style sandwiches to hear me talk, sentences, so that I could get the meeting started on time, right? And then now, how does this spice thing came up? How did this thing came up?
Yeah, so we have a few different ways that you can get content into Aircover. We've built some AI ML to be able to automatically scan documents and summarize it. And we've also created ways that you can dynamically create content within our portal, both from what's in your playbook and then also what's in your CRM. And so this is great because now the CS rep has direct access to the situation, the pain, the impact, and they could have a more thoughtful, directed conversation with the customer.
And when you went through ACE, did you actually click a button to get to this now?
I did not. It was all voice driven, and so I can give you another example where.
Whoa, wait, what? Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
No, and I know I already seen a demo, but Beth, you just nailed that. What you said, right?
Yeah.
The voice recognition recognized the words, and therefore it knew that was completed, and it then brought this up. Did I get that right, David?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic.
Wow, that's very cool. Okay.
So as the CSM is having a conversation with their customer, let's say they're asking questions, and in this case, maybe the prospect's looking for a new background check solution because they're having a lot of issues with their current one. And just by articulating the pain point, I was able to now dynamically pull up a custom or a pocket story. Now I could have a more business-centric conversation versus diving into feature function.
Whoa. Again, I'm just trying to see if I get this right. You mentioned something, a pocket story about reliability, that then brought that pocket story up. Now, Beth, when he demoed this to me, again, I'm trying to act surprised, but I already saw this, right? Look what he does. He brings up the situation, pain, and impact story. He brings up the customer success story already in the standard operating model using Spice in there. So, our reps can already, speak about this in that way. You see what he's doing?
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that.
Okay.
And can you you're probably going to show this too. I assume that once you do this, you can navigate between the different items that you see up there too, right? Like when you are ready to go back to Spiced, if you don't need the story or it doesn't exactly trigger emotion.
Absolutely. So this is a timeline that will continue to get populated as we start, hearing more phrases, keywords, important moments of the conversation. And so you can go back to Spiced, reference, more the situation, the pain, the impact, even if the conversation is moving forward.
And actually, you just pointed something else out that I didn't know. So go back to the pocket story for a second. That's not just one pocket story. You have a few there, which I didn't immediately recognize. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
That's right. So yeah, a lot of our customers will like to segment their pocket stories by vertical so that they can speak more, in the customer voice a bit more.
Okay, completely sidebar, palate cleanser here. Have you seen on Instagram those stories where people talk to a friend as if with trigger words to their dogs, right? Like, are we gonna go to the store and get some cookies today, right? Anyway, that whole thing, I feel like when the system is now listening to me, I feel like, oh my gosh, this is full of trigger words that is now being listened to. But okay, carry forward.
I do have a lot of questions about the trigger word thing, but we'll just keep going with the demo.
Love it. And so we could probably put something in there for an Easter egg for our customers. I like that.
Exactly, that would be great. Totally.
Yes.
And so, we're the CSM's having the conversation with their customer, and the customer says, after hearing the pocket story, this has been a really painful situation for us. We've been looking forward to getting this project kicked off. And you can see just by talking about how this was a painful situation, now we can start getting into the decision process. Like, who am I talking to? Is it the champion, like it said in the pre-sales notes in Salesforce, or is it maybe the decider? And what questions do I need to ask to uncover that?
Okay, scroll up there for me, right? That is one of our blueprints, right?
Exactly. Yep. You can you can embed images. This is a rich text editor. You could have links out to external content. And so, in case the CSM, they need to find some important document, they don't have to spend 3 or 4 minutes looking for it. They get access to it right there as a dynamic link within the portal.
Okay, David, go ahead, Beth.
So you might be getting to this, so feel free to defer this question, but before this call, is all of this content pre-populated based on the kind of call this was going to be? Or is all this stuff available for any potential call? And there's trigger words that no matter if you have it marked as a sales call or a business review or a renewal conversation, like anything can come up.
Yeah, so everything is created within the function of a playbook. This will be accessible in future calls as well. So it's not, just for this one and only call.
Okay, so it's not like I'm saying, oh, I have a renewal call happening. I want this to be the playbook of things only that pop up based on what I'm saying during the call or what's being said.
That would be the intent, yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Like
Right,
before you get into the call to be able to
Yeah.
configure that, or live on the call to configure that as well.
Now,
Okay.
Beth, what I'm noticing here is like, look, for example, that little chart at the bottom, right? He, like Dave on his own will probably optimize that a little bit for the look and feel. But now I go like, oh, we can make that simpler, right? Or we can remove some of the text so that it's more digestible and custom design it more for this specific tool, because the pane on the right is different than the traditional, like whatever slides site. This is fantastic. Okay, I start to get really what is this.
I can also see some of our blueprints that would, like you said, just little changes that for this particular format could make them even more powerful with this format.
That's right.
Just the in the moment kind of thing.
That is right.
Yeah, a lot of our customers will view the content they put into Aircover as a different type of format or content where, it's not like a 10-page PowerPoint on a single competitor or, size 8 font, 1-pager. It needs to be, snackable, bite-sized information that the rep can consume in the moment.
Perfect. We make rich content because we believe that we try to create it relatively dense so that when it's consumed later on, that it's a subset of it, that you can make it simpler. This, what we're trying to avoid is that people start creating new stuff that is not, hey, I see here something super exciting. Underneath, again, I see decision process, and I know what CH and DC stand for. That's a champion and decision maker. Got it. So again, you are offering me, oh my gosh, Dave.
So these are persona. These are questions based on the personas that you have integrated in here alongside the decision process and everything. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, the goal ultimately is to totally virtualize the CS operating model playbook and really be able to offer meet the customer where they are in the buying journey. In this case, on the customer success side, and really give them relevant content to help them have a more thoughtful conversation and a successful meeting.
This is great. Okay,
this is so cool too.
So go ahead, Beth.
No, I was just going to say that, like you said at the beginning of the call, sitting through a training of like 8 hours, and it's hard to retain a lot of that stuff. So just to have this in there as the reminders and like things to trigger those different ideas and things you were taught, not only is it just helpful, but it also helps reinforce that content in the first place. So your teams are just going to get more and more experience and just stronger with these skills by using this. It's very cool. I like it.
Absolutely.
Now you see when he showed it to me for the first time, I go like, wait, what? What can you do? Like, this is now, yeah, let's get, I mean, I want to keep this video short for people as well, so they're not like get bored by the three of us talking, or rather me talking. But let's wrap it up.
That's a great point. So yeah, there's a few minutes left, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, and we want to regroup on the meeting and what we just talked about. So now that we're regrouping on the meeting, we have the Wagons card that appeared. Did we establish the goal of the meeting? What would you like to accomplish? Again, and really help close out the meeting from that standpoint.
This is fantastic, Dave. If we need, if a customer of us wants this customized, right? Like what would they need to do to get this? Obviously, they need a playbook of sorts with some. They need to know their ICP. They need to know their decision criteria. Competitors probably can be mentioned as well. Do I get that right? Absolutely.
Yeah, you could have competitive cards. Typically, we would work with them on, okay, what would trigger that type of content for a competitor? It would be the company name most likely, or it could be maybe some FUD that you anticipate your competitors will say about your product or service. For Pocket Stories, I love servicing those in relation to pain points that the customer has. You could also do things like, as a next step, it would be great to talk about what a timeline would look like. And based on the phrase, as a next step, you could have something like your mutual action plan appear. And this is
There you
where I was
go.
talking. This is where I was talking about. So this, if I click this, you all don't see that, but it just launched the, the Winning by Design mutual action plan. So it's meant to
Nice.
be like a turnkey workflow. And those are moments, again, you can coach your team on. If you don't see them after the meeting, those cards being mentioned, perhaps that's a coaching moment after the call.
Okay. Yeah, this is powerful. And I think like the reason why I want to bring up the competitor cards, for example, when we do expansion into a new product or for a renewal, if the customer is hesitant, it allows it to renew or brings up, like any roadblocks to that. The fact that we can then, yeah, this is fantastic. Beth, any final questions before we wrap this call up?
I don't think, I mean, I have a lot of questions, but this is amazing. My brain's going in so many directions, thinking about benefits and ways this could support clients and team members mostly. That's
right?
Fantastic. Yeah.
This is why when I saw it, I go like,
Yeah.
and it particularly for a group that is CS people that want to start selling, right? Account managers and expansion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what attracted me, because I think it's so easy for us to think of this as a sales tool, which obviously Dave will probably have a solution for that. I get that. But it's on the AM side and the expansion that I feel like this is most useful, because that's where this real time coaching allows for quick improvements with a group of people that can benefit from this.
And even if your CSMs don't own expansion or renewal, even just to teach them how to have the conversations to surface the things that would be really valuable to those who do own that number so they can be more collaborative is fantastic.
Well made. Point well made. Okay, Dave, who are you? What's this product's name? Where are you from?
Thanks. Yeah. So David Levy, co-founder of Aircover again, and we are built in California. We all live out on the West Coast now, and we've been around for a little over a year and a half. And we have backgrounds in engineering, in go-to-market, and we've all built and sold companies before. And a lot of the challenges that we had around enabling companies and go-to-market teams on new products, new partnerships, general sales, and customer success enablement led us to thinking it's a great time to build a lot of this enablement directly into the meeting experience. And so we're excited to be partnering with a company like Winning by Design that's producing the best playbooks out there. So we're very excited about it.
Well, thanks for that. Thank you, Beth, for pouring a fresh eye. Beth, honest question. Did you ever see this before you saw it today?
No. No, this is literally the first look that I have of it. I had no idea what I was actually really coming into today.
and what do you think about it?
I think it's great. I know when I was leading teams, I immediately am thinking about teams I've run in the past that would have benefited so much from this. And I can think right now about different clients. It's powerful and it's flexible, which I really like too.
Well, with that said, Dave and Beth, thank you for being on this call with me. Again, Dave, for the folks at Aircover, thank you very much for putting this into play. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Talk to you later, okay? And for those of you all listening and watching this, thank you for listening to this. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.